Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Aymadyan Wapanya Jerusalem. Stand and face Jerusalem. Hallelujah.
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 Who's the power?
Yahweh the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh the power.
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shai.
The blessing of the Sabbath. Repeat the Hebrew. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahushai, that gives to us a Sabbath day and peace, that gives so be it. Amen.
Amen.
Barakatha Yahweh.
Barakatha Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Mashiach.
Mashiach.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Hawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Nathanawa.
Nathanawa.
Hashabbath.
Hashabbath.
Bashalom.
Shalom.
Thawada.
Thawada.
Thanyad.
Thanyad.
Amen.
Amen.
The calling of the tribes. Tribes to the east. Yawasab.
Yawasab.
Banyamyan.
Banyamyan.
Dan.
Dan.
Shema.
Yasharella.
Yasharella. Yahweh. Ahrahyahla. Yahweh. Akkad. Sar. Turn. Tribes to the south. Shemai one. Yashakar. Zabala one. Shemai. Yasharella. Yahweh. Ahrahyahla. Yahweh. Akkad. Saw. Turn. Tribes to the west. Gad. Ashar. Naphtali. Shemai. Yasharella. Yahweh. Ahrahyahla. Yahweh. Akkad. Saw. Turn. Tribes to the north. Roban. Yahweh. Loya. Shemai. Yasharella. Yahweh. Ahrahyahla. Yahweh. Akkad. Saw. Turn. Shemai. Yasharella. Yahweh. Ahrahyahla. Yahweh. Akkad. Hero Israel. Yahweh's our power. Yahweh's one. Bahashem Mashiach Yahushai. Thawada Thanyah. Amen.
Amen.
The blessing of the Torah. Repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahushai, that gives to us the law. Barakatha Yahweh. Bahashem. Mashiach. Yahushai. Hawa'ah. Nathanawa. Ha-Torah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahushai, that gives to us the light to see. Barakatha Yahweh. Bahashem. Mashiach. Yahushai. Hawa'ah. Nathanawa. Ha'awor. Lara'ah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahushai, that gives to us the ram's horn to call the people. Barakatha Yahweh. Bahashem. Mashiach. Yahushai. Hawa'ah. Nathanawa. Ha'ayo. Lakra'ah. Ha'ayam. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Mashiach Yahushai, that gives to us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Barakatha Yahweh. Bahashem. Mashiach. Yahushai. Hawa'ah. Nathanawa. Hashaman. Zayath. Lamashak. Yasharella. Thawada. Thanyad. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Who's the power? Who's the power? Bahashem. Bahashem. The Ten Commandments in the Lashon Kodash. Repeat the Hebrew only. La'a,
La'a,
Yahaya,
Yahaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Alahorium,
Alahorium,
Akorium,
Akorium,
Alpanya,
Alpanya,
La'a,
La'a,
Thaisha,
Thaisha,
Laka,
Laka,
Pasal,
Pasal,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Thibadum,
Thibadum,
La'a,
La'a,
Gakwakwath,
Gakwakwath,
Sham,
Sham,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bashawa,
Bashawa,
Zakar,
Zakar,
Hayawam,
Hayawam,
Hashabath,
Hashabath,
Lakwadashwa,
Lakwadashwa,
Kabad,
Kabad,
Abaka,
Abaka,
Wa'amaka,
Wa'amaka,
La'an,
La'a,
Tharatazak,
Yatazachaaq,
La'a,
La'a,
Thana'at,
Tana'at,
La'a,
La'a,
Thagana,
Tagana,
La'a,
La'a,
Thaino,
Taino,
Shakur,
Shakur,
La'a,
La'a,
Thakamad,
Takamad,
Ko,
Ko,
Asharai,
Asharai,
Lara'ika,
Ra'ika,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Mashiach,
Hamashiach,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
the water,
the water,
Thanyad,
Yad,
Amen.
Amen.
The Ten Commandments in English, the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1.
And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that's in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy power in vain, for the Most High will not hold them guiltless that take his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother. Thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is thy neighbor. Abanaw Yahweh Bahashim Mashak Yahushai, the water from Yad. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
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 Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Bahashem.
Yahushai.
Bahashem.
Yahushai.
The Lord's Prayer. And Allah Shema Kodash, repeat the Hebrew. Amanawa.
Amanaw.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Haya.
Haya.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwavka.
Malakwavka.
Thaba'a.
Taba'a.
Ratazaka.
Yatazachaaq.
Haya.
Haya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Baharatasa.
Baharatasa.
Ka.
Ka.
Haya.
Haya.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Athanawa.
Athanawa.
Lacham.
Lacham.
Chayawam.
Kayawam.
Wasalaknawa.
Masalaknawa.
Kabawathinawa.
Kabawapinawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kabawathinawa.
Kabawapinawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Fabiyanawa.
Fabiyanawa.
Walasawan.
Walasawan.
Abo.
Abo.
Awashainawa.
Awashainawa.
Marai.
Marai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wala'ala.
Wala'ala.
Walathaiporath.
Walathaiporath.
Ayawalamya.
Ayawalamya.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Mashiach.
Hamashiach.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Thanyad.
Yad.
Amen.
Amen.
The Lord's Prayer, the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 9.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. Abanaw Yahweh Bahashim Mashak Yahushua the water from Yad. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
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 Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shai.
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shai.
Psalms 133 and Lashwan Kodash, repeat the Hebrew. Shayar,
Shayar.
Hamawath,
Hamawath.
Ladawad,
Ladawad.
Hana,
Hana.
Ma,
Ma.
Tawab,
Tawab.
Wama,
Wama.
Nayam,
Nayam.
Shabbath,
Shabbath.
Akyam,
Akyam.
Gum,
Gum.
Yakut,
Yakut.
Kashaman,
Kashaman.
Hatawab,
Hatawab.
Ayo,
Ayo.
Haraash,
Haraash.
Yarad,
Yarad.
Ayo,
Ayo.
Azakwan,
Azakwan.
Zakwan,
Zakwan.
Aharon,
Aharon.
Shayarad,
Yarad.
Ayo,
Ayo.
Paya,
Paya.
Madawathiwa,
Wakiwa.
Kato,
Kato.
Karamwan,
Ramran.
Shayarad,
Shayarad.
Ayo,
Ayo.
Hariyah,
Hariyah.
Taziawan,
Taziawan.
Kaya,
Kaya.
Sham,
Sham.
Tazawa,
Tazawa.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ath,
Ath.
Abiyakan,
Abiyakad.
Kayayam,
Kayam.
Ai,
Ai.
Haiwalam,
Haiwalam.
Bahasham,
Bahasham.
Mashiach,
Mashiach.
Yahushai,
Yahushai.
the water,
The water.
Thanyad,
Anyad.
Haman.
Amen.
Psalms 133 in English.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Most High commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Bahashim Mashak Yahushua, the water from Yad. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
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 Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Bahasham.
Yahweh Shai.
Bahasham.
Yahweh Shai.
Psalms 150 to praise.
Praise ye the Most High.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Most High in the sanctuary.
Hallelujah.
Praise him in the firmament of his power.
Hallelujah.
Praise him for his mighty acts.
Hallelujah.
Praise him according to his excellent greatness.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the sound of the trumpet.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the psaltery and harp.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the timbrel and dance.
Hallelujah.
Praise him with the string instruments and organs.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the loud cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Praise him upon the high sounding cymbals.
Hallelujah.
Let everything that hath breath praise the Most High.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Praise ye the Most High. Bahashim Mashak Yahushua the water from Yad. Amen.
Amen.
Let everything that have breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Let everything that have breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
All praises, all things go out to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because truly his mercy endure forever. We come before you. We want to thank you, Abba Yahweh, the waking us up in these last days and waking us up on this Shabbat day, giving us this Shabbat in peace. Because we know the time will come, Abba Yahweh, we not be able to keep the Shabbat in peace. Please send the righteous angels to encamp around all of us, all Israel, the face of Jerusalem, and call on thy high holy name. By Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua. Abba Yahweh, won't you send a spirit of healing, Abba Yahweh. Send a spirit of healing on our beloved sister Bara'ah, Abba Yahweh. Send a spirit of healing, and she may be whole again and return to Shabbat, Abba Yahweh. Put a spirit on our brother, our Captain Inaw, of healing, Abba Yahweh. And all those that deal with any kind of infirmities in their spirit, Abba Yahweh. Please send the righteous angels to encamp around our Captain Yahshua, Abba Yahweh. Though he was down, Abba Yahweh, and he's going through the illnesses, please put a spirit of healing, Abba Yahweh. And as always, we earnestly ask, we beg of you, Abba Yahweh, that you come and redeem us out of this captivity. All Israel. I thought. All these things we ask and praise in your name, Yahweh, and your Son, who came and died for the nation of Israel, and Israel only, HaMashiach Yahushai, Bahashim HaMashiach Yahushai, the water thing, Yah, Amen.
Amen.
Yeshabia. Everyone be seated. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
May your Shabbat Be in peace. Here, please put your phones on mute. Silence. Today's portion is going to be Leviticus, the 25th chapter, and the first verse to Leviticus 26 and 2. Okay? So, but as always, we always get started with the book of Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. We're going to open up the word of Yah. We're going to go into the portion. And then after, we have a few current events, things that's going on that we're going to talk about. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right. Let's look at Colossians 3, verse 17.
This is the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord of Yahawashi, giving thanks to the Abba and the Father by him.
All right. So everything we know we do by Hashem Yahawashi. Always giving thanks to the power, any word and deed that we do, make sure that we're doing it by Hashem Yahawashi. Always giving thanks to Yahweh in the name of Yahawashi. So let's jump right to it. Let's look at Leviticus 25 and verse 1.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
And the Most High spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Most High. Verse 3, 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof. Verse 4, but in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Most High. Thou shalt neither sow thy field, nor prune thy vineyard. Verse 5, that which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest, thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vine undressed, for it is a year of rest unto the land.
Right, so what we did was, he said in 6 years thou shalt sow thy field. Sow the field is getting it ready, putting the planting the seeds, right? Growing your prunes. He said thou shalt prune thy vineyard and gather in the fruit thereof. So for those first 6 years, we're doing our agriculture. We're going through the vineyard. We're planting, we're plucking, and we're taking care of our land, right? But he said, but in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest. That time is not the time to do that, right? This is talking about 7 years. Anybody understand that? This is not talking about 7 weeks. This is after 7 years. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And for thy cattle,
right,
and for the beasts that are in thy land,
mm-hmm,
shall all the increase thereof be meat.
Right.
Verse 8. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbath of years unto thee.
Right. So now it's going to the 7 Sabbaths, right? Which is what? 7 years. Okay. Go ahead.
7 times 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the space of the 7 Sabbath of years shall be unto thee 49 years.
Right.
Verse 9. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month.
Stop right there. So now it says 7 years, 7 times what? 7 is what? 49. So on that 50th year is what? What's the 50th year? It's the year of Jubilee. Okay? And he said you shall sound the trumpet on what day? The 10th day of the 7th month. What day is that? Right. It's the Day of Atonement. Go ahead.
In the Day of Atonement,
mm-hmm,
shall you make the trumpet sound throughout all your land.
Right.
Verse 10. And ye shall hallow the 50th year,
mm-hmm,
and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitations thereof.
Right.
It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possessions.
Right.
And ye shall return every man unto his family.
Right. So what's going on here? Every man is possession, every man is family. Remember when we sold things, we had the year of release. Remember that? After 7 years, you was able to say, okay, your debt is final with me. You don't owe me anything. But when it comes to the year of Jubilee, now this is like the major one. This is the top dog, Jubilee. After 50 years, now you can return back to property. You can actually leave, take your wife and whatever children, you can leave and you can go back home to your habitations, you know, at this particular time, after spending that much time with your, as being a servant. So that's why he said you can go back to your inhabitants, go back to your family. Your he said, unto you ye shall return every man unto his possession. So if you had a possession of somebody's property at this particular time, this is the time, the Jubilee, you give it back to him. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 11. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you.
Right.
Ye shall not sow, neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of thy vineyard undressed. Verse 12. For it is the jubilee, it shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field.
Right.
Verse 13. In the year of jubilee ye shall return every man unto his possession.
Right.
Verse 14. And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. Verse 15. According to the number of years after the jubilee thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according unto the number of years of the fruit ye shall sell unto thee. Verse 16. According to the multitude of years thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years thou shalt diminish the price of it. For according to the number of the years of the fruits doeth he sell unto thee.
Right. So you had they adjusted the, you know, the prices according to what was going on around them. They didn't like charge everybody all this money, you know, like Esau does. Esau got the rent now, 1 bedroom, $1,800, right? And you in the middle of the hood, somebody out there selling drugs right there in front of your house, getting shot. That's not worth it, right? But where you gonna live at? You gotta pay something, right? So, you know, with us, you know, as you notice that we didn't need the other nations. This is what we're reading here, this is a reverse of the curse. Right? Because the curses said that what? We should not sow the field, we're gonna grab the grapes thereof, but we're not gonna benefit anything from it. Right. You know, we're gonna plant, but we're not gonna plug up anything, right? Right? Because that was the curse. So now we're getting what you're reading here today is the blessing that was given unto us. This blessing of knowing how to cultivate the land and do everything for ourselves, that we didn't have to go to the nations to buy clothes, to get food, to get wine, to as scripture say, like it says, in a want of all things. We didn't need to do that. That curse hasn't been put on us as yet. So we're able to reap the land. It was given to us. Most High has given it to us. We're able to buy and sell within each other, okay, and be at reason, okay. So that's why the Most High is writing these laws, so that way we will stick to the law and there's some structure. So it's not we're not oppressing a brother, right? Go ahead.
Verse 17. Ye shall not therefore oppress one another.
Right. Most High say you better not oppress one another. Read.
But thou shalt fear the Most High, for I am the Most High your power.
Read on.
Verse 18. Wherefore ye shall do my statutes and keep my judgments, and do them.
Right.
And ye shall dwell in the land in safety.
You see, you say you're going to dwell in the land safely. Why? Because we understand how to trade with one another. We understand how to sell to one another. We understand how to buy from one another. And we understand that maybe if you fall on hard times and you can't do it by yourself, You can hire a Hebrew servant. He could come work on your land for a certain number of years, right? He could be on there 6 or 7 years. When the 7th year come, he could be released. If he decide to stay, he can stay all the way up until Jubilee. And when the Jubilee come, and he could be just go back to where he, his land, where he was born, if he was born abroad. So we know how to deal with things. We know how to deal with one another. This is this understanding now is going to what law? It's going into one of the laws of the 10 Commandments, which is thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. We showing love to one another because we buying from one another, we selling from one to another, and we not oppressing one another. Okay, so this is what we ought to be doing. Unfortunately, we live in a land right now where we fit the curses, and according to Deuteronomy 28:48, he said we're going to go to him for clothing. We're going to go to him in a want of all things, and he shall put a yoke upon your neck until you have been destroyed. And this is the reason why our people are destroyed. We don't want our own thing. We want to do our own thing, but we want to go to the nations for everything. Here, we didn't need to go to the nations for anything. We didn't need to go to the nations for nothing. We provided everything you could think of. We had doctors. We had people. We had people that judged the law. We had lawyers. We had judges. Okay. We had everything that you need. We had nurses, nurse practitioners. People that deal with women when they're pregnant. You know what I mean? So we had everything. Okay. We had everything that we needed. We didn't need to go to the nations for nothing. But because we fell short of the law of the Most High, and we decided to do some evil things against each other, and we started serving other gods, is the reason why the Most High put us in captivity. Go ahead.
Verse 19. And the land shall yield her fruit, and ye shall eat your field, and dwell therein in safety.
Right.
Verse 20. And if ye shall say, where shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow nor gather in our increase. Verse 21. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. Verse 22. And ye shall sow the 18th year, the 8th year, and ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of old fruit until the 9th year. Until her fruits come in, ye shall eat of the old store.
Right. So now he says, then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. So you see how we were being blessed by the Most High by what? Doing his will. And he said, if you do it, then I'm going to bless you 3 more years. Right? That's why when you go into the holiday which we are in now, just so happen we are now, these two link up together, of the Feast of Weeks, which is called the first fruits, right? Where we would call the Pentecost. It's the first thing we do. We gather the fruits and we bring it on to the priest, and he will bless the fruits, and we will have a prosperous field. Our vineyard will be growing. Our grapes will be growing. Our olive oil, which we need the olive oil, right? To light the candles, do the anointed, right? Go ahead. Read on.
Verse 23. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine.
For the land is yours. Read again.
The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine.
Okay.
For ye are strangers and sojourners with me.
Right.
Verse 24. And in all the land of your possession ye shall grant a redemption for the land. Verse 25. If thy brother be waxen poor, and hath sold away some of his possessions, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. Verse 26. And if the man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, Verse 27. Then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession.
So you see, he said, if the brother be waxing poor and have sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. So even when your brother have sold some part of the land and y'all become poor, you know, the brothers are still entitled to something. You know what I mean? You know, the land the people may have gotten poor, but not to the point where you see like our people on the street like starving and then they don't have nothing. We always made provision for the people that were misfortunate or didn't have. All right, read on. Read 27.
Verse 27. Then let him count the years of the sale thereof,
right,
and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession.
Right, read on.
Verse 28. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that had bought it until the year of Jubilee.
Right.
And in the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession.
So you see, even now he's talking about the year of Jubilee. That's what we were just talking about from the beginning. That after that time has passed, that 7 years, that 50th year is the year of Jubilee. That's when you will get your possessions back. Everybody got that? All right. Go ahead.
Verse 29. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, when he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold, within a full year may he redeem it. Verse 30. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generation. It shall not go out in the Jubilee.
Okay, start reading 29 again.
Verse 29. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, when he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold, within a full year may he redeem it.
Okay, so you may redeem it within that year. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year,
right,
then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generation. It shall not go out in the Jubilee.
Right. So now it's talking something different. Now, when you have a house in a walled city, what does that mean? Like in Jerusalem, if you had a house in Jerusalem, Jerusalem got the wall around it. So if you don't redeem it within that 1 year, then whoever bought it from you, he's keeping it forever. It won't be released in the year of Jubilee. So they got one law for like being in the land itself, being in the walled city, and they got another law if you're in the field. You know what I mean? Right. Go ahead.
Verse 31. But the houses of the villages which have no wall round about them shall be counted as the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee.
Right, you see that? So the ones that don't have the wall, those can be redeemed. So just give you both understandings. One with the wall, if you don't get it within the year, you can't redeem it back, not even after Jubilee. And those that are out the wall is considered what? Counted as the fields. Okay? Because the fields is the ones we gave up for the Jubilee. Everybody got that? Go ahead.
Verse 32. Notwithstanding the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession, may the Levites redeem at any time. And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold and the city of his possession shall go out in the year of Jubilee. For the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. Verse 34. But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession.
Right, so now we're talking about the Levites, right? Okay. So if a man purchased of the Levites, then the house that was sold and the city of his possession go, right? What did he say? Out of the year of Jubilee, for the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. But the field of the suburbs, their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. So they have a perpetual possession there. Go ahead, read on, 35.
Verse 35.
Mm-hmm.
And if thy brother be waxen poor, and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Verse 36.
Right, so it says, now if thy brother be waxen and poor, and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Let him go. Though he be a stranger or sojourner, that he may live with thee. So, you know, if he become, it looks like a big decay, maybe meaning that he's sick, you know. So he say you're going to release him. Relieve him of certain duties that he have to do. Go ahead. 36.
Take thou no usury of him,
Mm-hmm.
or increase, but fear thy power, that thy brother may live with thee.
Right, so it says the brother may live with thee. So decay meaning, let me see, might be talking about him owing him. Thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger, sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him. Right. So what is usury? Anybody know what that is? Go ahead.
Usury is just like pretty much taking advantage and not dealing with your brother like the way that we should be dealing with our brothers. Treat them like, let's say, treat them like they're not Israel. Treat them like they strangers for other nations.
Well, the usury is like when you add extra money on to something that somebody borrows. Like somebody borrowed $20 from you, and you tell them, yo, you gotta pay me back 40. Right? That's not something that we done amongst the children of Israel. All right, that's something that we didn't do. Right? We didn't charge you usury. He said, take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear the Most High thy power, that thy brother may live with thee. So he's falling behind. He can't be able to pay you. You know, take no usury from it. Don't add any money onto it. Go ahead.
Verse 37.
Right.
Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury,
No, right?
nor lend him thy victuals for increase.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 38. I am the Most High your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan,
Mm-hmm.
and to be your power.
Read.
And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant.
Right. So if the brother be dwelling by thee and be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him or serve him as to be a bondman. What does it mean to be a bondservant? Anybody know? What's a bondservant?
A servant that's in bondage for like being
Slavery.
yeah.
Right. You can't put your brother into slavery. That's a wicked thing to put your brother in slavery. You can't do that. Go ahead.
Verse 40.
Mm-hmm.
But as an hired servant, and as a sojourner,
Right.
he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
Right. So what? He's going to be a sojourner among you, right? You're going to make sure you have food, clothing, everything that he needs, okay? And you're not going to treat him like a slave. Everybody got that? Because a slave, you just throw everything to him, slop, any kind of food, and you just throw any kind of clothing towards him and just treat him like a dog, right? Like how they did us in slavery. That's not how the Most High wants us to deal with each other. Read.
Verse 41.
Mm-hmm.
And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family,
Right.
and unto the possession of his fathers, shall he return.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 42.
Right.
For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen.
Right. We can't be sold as bondmen. Read.
Verse 43. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor,
Mm-hmm.
but shalt fear the Most High, thy power.
Right.
Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you.
Hold on. So, let's go back 1 minute. Read 41 for me.
Verse 41. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children
I'm sorry.
with him.
Read 40.
Verse 40.
Uh-huh.
But as an hired servant and as a sojourner,
Uh-huh.
he shall be with thee,
Mm-hmm.
and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
Right. Again, there's the Jubilee coming up again. So after the year of the Jubilee, then he can leave. Go ahead.
Verse 41.
Mm-hmm.
And then shall he depart from thee,
Right.
both he and his children with him,
Right.
and shall return unto his own family,
Right. He's going to return onto his own family. Go ahead.
and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return.
Right. Again, that's what we were talking about in the beginning, about the being a part of the Jubilee, you being a servant. You get to go back home to where your nativity is. Your father left you the land, you're able to go. And now if you worked as a servant someplace and you got a wife there and you had children there, and your wife and your children, y'all all become servants for that guy, for the Hebrew brother over you. After the year of Jubilee, you're able to take your family back home to your possession where your father may have left some land for you. Everybody got that?
Come.
Okay, read on.
Verse 42. For they are my servants,
Mm-hmm.
which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt.
Stop right there. He said, for they are my servants, which I have brought forth out of the land of Egypt. Who's this talking? The Most High. The Most High is saying, you are my servants. I brought y'all out of the land of Egypt. Go ahead.
They shall not be sold as bondmen.
Most High said, you're not supposed to be sold as bondmen. Read on.
Verse 43.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shalt fear the Most High, thy
Right.
power.
So your servants, you're not supposed to rule over them with rigor. Right? Meaning that you're not supposed to treat them like garbage. That is your Hebrew brother. Go ahead.
Verse 44.
Uh-huh.
Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have,
Right? Shall be what?
shall be of the heathen that are round about you.
See, that's the understanding. So he's telling you, your people, the Hebrews, can't be bondmen and bondwomen, right? But the heathen, the men, women that are around you, he said, both the bondmen and the bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. So the other nations, the heathens, are supposed to be bondmen and bondmaid. Everybody got that? Go ahead.
Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids.
Right? Right. So them we supposed to buy. The bondmen and the bondmaids. If we need a bondman, a slave man, and a slave woman, if we need that, then the Most High will, we'll have the bread, we'll be able to provide, and we'll get those servants, and they'll come in and work for us. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 45.
45, right.
Moreover, the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you,
Mm-hmm.
of them shall ye buy,
Right.
and of their families that are with you,
Mm-hmm.
which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession.
Right.
Verse 46.
Right.
And ye shall take them as an inheritance.
As a what?
As an inheritance.
So you're supposed to take the stranger as an inheritance. Anybody got that? Right? A lot of times, our people, we don't know what that means, inheritance, because a lot of times, I think it was one of the comedians. I think it was Chris Rock. He said something like, white folks, when they die, they leave them a will. Black folks, when they die, they leave them a bill. Right? Unfortunately, in this time, we don't leave our family members, our elder family members, don't provide some sort of inheritance for the children to have, so they can have a step up on life. Because starting from the bottom is very hard, having nothing, and then making it to a point where you can live a comfortable life. So here, during the time of Moses, he said that the heathen, they were our possession, right? Which was very important, right? We needed to have, when we needed things done around the house, sometimes we asked the Hebrew servant, but if we had the heathen around the house, then we would go and deal with the heathen and have them do certain things. Shalom. Okay, go ahead. 46.
And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you.
For your what?
For your children after you.
Right, so even for your children after you, like, so like, you know, something happened to you and you pass away, you know, or you're getting sick, you're going to pass, you will have, you know, your will written up, and then you'll have your servants, which is of the other nations. They would be what? They will be your they'll be an inheritance for your children. So even when they pass, they will now say, okay, your father was a good man, but now you're the man in charge. I work for you now. So now the heathen will be working for the children now. This is the way it's supposed to be. Go ahead.
To inherit them for a possession.
Right.
They shall be your bondmen forever.
For how long?
Forever.
For what?
Forever.
So they're supposed to be our bondmen forever. Right? We're in Leviticus 25 and 46. Go ahead.
They shall be your bondmen forever.
Right?
But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor.
Right. For your brethren and your children, you know, of the children of Israel, you should not rule over them with rigor. Right? We can't like talk to them any kind of way or slap them around and, you know, and mistreat them, right? And give them, you know, food that's not good for them and things like that. Everybody understand that? But we got to deal with your brother, even though your brother may be at a lower state and you may be have brought him into your home as a servant and worked around your family. You don't need to treat him a certain way, right? You can't treat him like that. But the other nations is whatever, all right? Yeah. Go clean the toilet, go wash down the sink, go clean up the horse, do whatever you gotta do, right? But your Hebrew brother, if you don't want him working too hard, you look like you need a day off. Take it easy, right? Look like you're a little tired. Take care of your brother. Yes.
You make sure he doesn't feel degraded.
Right. You make sure that You make sure he doesn't feel degraded. That's right. That's a very good point. You say you can't rule over another with rigor. We just read that a little bit earlier. Okay, go ahead. 47.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and verse 47. And if a sojourner or a stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family. Verse 48. After that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him.
Right. So if you with your brother and you be sold, you wax poor, and now you there for a while, but your brother may want you back. Hey man, I know you're over there working for those guys. I want you back. He can go and pay for you, and you know, give money for you, and you come back home with them. Right. So we dealt with each other with it was a family oriented thing. It wasn't like, you know, we were like selling each other like Esau was selling us. You know, Esau was selling us. He split us up as a family. We didn't do that. In slavery, what's the first thing they did? They took the strong man, they sold him, sent him to Virginia, right? Took the wife, sent him to where? New Orleans somewhere, right? They split up the whole family. We didn't do that. Right? When we took on somebody that was poor and he said, yo, listen, I got a wife and I got 2 children. He took the wife and the children, everybody. They took everybody in, right? To make sure that the family stayed together. But because, you know, Esau dealt with us, you know, dealt with us treacherously. I don't know. I can't even think of the words, man. This guy, the things that he's done to us, right? It wasn't meant for us to, you know, to live like that or be like that, because we were meant to have the strangers and the heathens as possessions. The way that it is now is not supposed to be that way. Everybody understand that? The way things are set up now, it's not supposed to be this way. That's why our scriptures say, oppression maketh a wise man mad. Because we know now that we have been awakened into the truth, we have wisdom, we have knowledge, we have understanding that this is not how the Most High wanted us to live. This is a punishment. Unfortunately, some of us live well in this punishment, right? But that's just that person's captivity. Okay? Go ahead,
Verse 49.
49.
Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him.
Right, so one of your family members could come and get you and say, yo, they come and redeem you. They could give you, give the people something, maybe some cattle or, maybe some money. Could be money. Go ahead.
Or any that is nigh of kin unto him of his family may redeem him.
Right.
Or if he be able, he may redeem himself.
Right, if he's able, he have it, he can redeem himself. Go ahead.
Verse 50. And he shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold. That he was sold to him unto the year of Jubilee.
Right.
And the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of the years. According to the time of an hired servant shall it be with him.
Right, so with that time that he sold, bought him that year, he needed to start counting those years. Right? And when he gets up to 50, then he can, he can release him, of course, he can release him. But he said that the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of the years, so the time that he's been there. Okay? Okay. Read on.
Verse 51. If there be yet many years behind, according unto them he shall give again the price of his redemption.
Right. Give him the price of redemption on the time he's been there. Go ahead.
Out of the money that he was bought for.
Right.
And if there remain but few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him. And according unto his years shall he give him again the price of his redemption. Verse 53. And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him. And the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight.
Right.
And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him.
Right. So even if he doesn't pay, at this particular, maybe he doesn't have it. So he just work as a servant until his years are fulfilled, to up to Jubilee. Then he's able to go back. And when we read earlier in the chapter, even if like your father had a possession, like your father owned some land somewhere and somebody else had it, when you're finished serving your time as being that servant for your other Hebrew brother, you can actually leave, go to your father's land, possession land, and be in the land. Take your family and your children, everybody, and just go back and start up over there. Get your field going, get everything going. So we work with each other, dealing with selling and buying, and being selling and buying each other, because we all wasn't in good positions. You know what I mean? Right. So if I bought somebody and have them at the house for a while, at the year of Jubilee he can leave, or he can go and redeem himself. So we dealt with each other righteously, but not with rigor. Everybody got that? All right. So we didn't put usury, when we went over that, we didn't put usury on things, right? Usury is like what they do now, that the, what do they call those guys? I know years ago they had an old name for them. We used to go borrow money, the long shot, right? You go and borrow money from the long shot guy because you need money, right? Right? You used to go borrow money, make sure you pay, they put the usury on it. Yeah, you go and borrow 500. Usually the guy say, "Y'all want 800 back," right? And you gotta get that 800, or you gonna lose, your arm gonna be broke. You may give it back to 5, but you gonna be walking around with a cash. You probably owe him 1,000 after that. So you might just come with the $800. So, you know, we wasn't able to put that usury on there. The Most High said that we should deal with each other righteously. You know, if I lend to you, then you give back what I borrowed. Everybody got that? Right. So we shouldn't be doing that with anybody. Right? That's not a righteous thing. Okay? Read on.
Verse 55.
Uh-huh.
For unto me the children of Israel are servants.
You see that? Unto me, he said, unto me the children of Israel are servants. So no matter what position that we may play as the children of Israel, we all are servants of the Most High. Everybody got that? Okay, read.
For unto me the children of Israel are servants.
Mm-hmm.
They are my servants whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Most High your power.
Right, I am the Most High your power. Read on.
Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Ye shall make unto you...
Hold on one second. Give me Isaiah 44 verse 1. Then we'll go to 26. Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant,
Right?
and Israel, whom I have chosen.
Right. So yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and what Israel, whom I have chosen. So he have chosen, the Most High have chosen some servants. And they are of who? The children of Israel. The 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Okay, we are the chosen ones. We are the servants of Yah. Okay, go back. So we're looking at Leviticus 26, verse 1.
Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image,
Mm-hmm.
neither shall you set up any image of stone in your land, to bow down unto it. For I am the Most High your power.
Right, that's very important because this is a serious thing that was happening in Israel. They were making these graven images, right? What is one of the famous graven images that they did? They made the calf, the golden calf, right? Because they got impatient when Moses went up on a mountain, right? He said he went up there to get the 10 Commandments. Well, you know you're not up there 40 days and 40 nights just getting 10 Commandments. That don't make no sense, right? So you're getting instruction from the Most High. Everybody understand that? He's getting instruction from the Most High. It don't take 40 days and 40 nights to get 10 Commandments. He went up there and got that in one day and came back down, right? So obviously he went up there and got an instruction. Just like the same thing like Yahushua did. Yahushua went up into where? He pulled him up. He was just saying what? Transfigured. When he saw Moses and Elijah, right? And he was given what? The instructions. So it's the same thing, right? He was there how many days? 40 days and 40 nights. Getting instruction on what was to be. Okay? So the Most High said, ye shall make you no idols, nor graven images, neither rear up any standing images. A lot of times our people are caught up with the cross. We're caught up with the Mother Mary. They can call it in Spanish Guadalupe, right? So, you know, when you see these, they have a big, I don't know what you want to call it, some sort of image of Mother Mary in Doral. And you know down there, a lot of northern tribe and Spaniards live down there. So they are really heavy on that Mother Mary, right? It's right off of the turnpike. I know if it, Captain Bayath, I don't know if you've seen it. It's right there by the Home Depot. Yeah.
It's across from the Home Depot.
Across from the Home Depot, right?
Yeah,
I don't know how tall that thing is. The thing has got to be over 100 feet, something like that.
It's on the church.
It's on the church, right?
Church, yeah.
It's huge. And at night it light up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen it at night. Yeah. They got some lights that are above it that lights that thing up, and you know, it's like a big graven image, man. You see this thing is like, it has to attract your eye if you're driving. You cannot miss it. Right. You driving by, I drove by there at night. I was like, I saw it during the day all the time. And then I turn around and look at this thing is lit up. This thing is like lit up, man. You know? And they promote and they push these idols. And a lot of times our people, you know, we fall for this stuff. So the Most High didn't want us to pull these idols out. I know one brother was trying to go against a lot of brothers about bringing these false idols out when we teach it on the street. But if you read the scripture here, it says that ye shall make you no idols, nor graven images, neither rear up standing images, neither shall ye set up any images of stone in your land. And he says right here, this is the key point, to bow down onto it. See, a lot of times brothers just bring that thing out so you can't have no, like having the Caesar Borgia's picture. We have it out there, but we're not bowing down to it. We're not rearing it up. Rearing it up is putting it on high, glorifying this thing. You know what I mean? We're not doing that. Actually, we're doing what the scripture says, is casting down the imaginations of man. Right? So this is what we did. It says to bow down onto it, for I am the Most High, your power, because the Most High wants us only to bow down to Him and Him only, not man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 2.
Verse 2.
Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Most High.
Right. He said, ye shall keep my Sabbaths and do what? And reverence my sanctuary. What it means to reverence something? It means have a deep respect for it. So, you know, the Most High said that we got a bunch of sanctuaries all over this earth. Right? We got a small sanctuary. So we have a place of refuge here. This is where we at right now, in the Treasure Coast, Port St. Lucie. This is a place that, you know, we should really cherish here, because, you know, we could be back out there in the park, you know, overnight. Trust me when I tell you, I've seen people go who have the riches and have nice things and then go down to begging bread. But the Most High said He'll never see the righteous begging bread. So as long as we doing our will of the Most High, doing our work, keeping the commandments, and giving generously, like I always say, right? Give what the Most High has blessed you with, you know? I don't want to make it seem like I'm one of them guys that be out here like those prosperity preachers, you know what I mean? But we do have to give, because the lights is on, man. The lights is not on because, you know, FP&L like me. You know, they're on because of your donations. The rent is paid because of everybody in this room, and those people that are not here. Even though these chairs are empty, there's people that do come here, and sometimes they're not here, but they still give their part, okay, to make sure that we reverence the sanctuary, and we keep the doors open, because we have to keep the doors open for other people to come in. Everybody understand that? Right? Because this is the place, like the couple came last week, they say, hey, we didn't even know you was here, because we were standing out there on the corner giving out our flyers. We were out there mingling and talking with the people, having a conversation with them. As the scriptures say, go out to the byways and the highways and do what? Compel them to come in. So if we don't reverence the sanctuary and make sure that we're funding the sanctuary, it's going to go under. And we're going to be out there on the street, and we're not going to have anybody to go to. We're not going to have anybody to have them to come in, right? Because there's a lot of camps out there that teach in the streets, but after they finish teaching and wake the people up, where do they come to? Right? Where do you tell them to come to? Because, you know, sometimes you can open up your home and you have a little sanctuary there. That's where we started at. We started in a home. We started in a home, and now we got 3 solid locations. Everybody got that? We got 3 solid locations. It was an actual place where somebody could come to, not somebody's home. We have a place. This place, we have the headquarters, which is in Fort Lauderdale, and we have Lee County that just established their place, which soon we'll be having a grand opening. So we're just waiting for them to get everything all together, and we'll inform everybody when that will be so we can make it out there. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, give the Most High a hand. That portion was short, but it was sweet. Yeah, the portion was Leviticus 25:1 to Leviticus 26:2. Yeah, it was short. And the reason why they do that is because how they portion it out, they have to portion it out so that it finishes right when it starts. So that way, it starts during the time of the tabernacles, and it ends at the time of the tabernacle, right? So you get a full year in reading the law, and you have already read the Torah. You have already read the 5 books of Moses and completed it. And as you notice, when the Passover comes, it goes back. So it stops at a certain point in Leviticus, and it'll go back to Exodus 12 and give more understanding on the Passover. And then after the holiday is over, you'll go ahead back to Leviticus, and then you'll go back when something else comes up. When the Pentecost come, we're gonna have something else, right? So so as the holidays come, the portion may change a little bit, but we stay within the law, okay? Which is really good. So I'm glad everyone came out today. I had a question for everyone, but while everyone is here, I'm sure everyone see what happened over the last week or 2 weeks ago about the Buffalo shooting, right? Unfortunately, you see a lot of our people there on TV. They crying, they upset. This guy just walks into a supermarket. He drives 2.5 to 3 hours. 200 miles is about 2.5 hours, right? Maybe 3 hours. That's like driving from Fort Lauderdale to Disney World, Orlando. That's about 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive. It's a 200-mile drive. And he took his time to drive there to shoot and kill our people, right? And still, our people still want to join hands with Esau and walk into the kingdom. I'm still trying to figure this thing out in 2022. Why is our people still trying to grab this guy and bring him into the kingdom? Why?
Because they're not all bad.
Because they're not all bad. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give you a reality check. All of us wasn't bad either. And we all went into captivity. You think all them brothers that went into us after 70 AD, as we ran into Africa and hid amongst these Africans and hid there and fought against them for many years? We were there over 1,000 years. And we had battles with them. We had our own land called the Negro land. And then after they came over and then they sold us. You think we all was bad? I'm sure a lot of us was bad. We were doing a couple of things that wasn't right, but we dealt with whatever we had to deal with within our nation. But eventually we were sold, okay, and brought us into this land. And what he did from that time, raped, robbed, and murdered us, left and right, and it never stopped. It never stopped. And I'm gonna tell you why it didn't stop. Give me Ezekiel 35:5. Read
The
that.
book of Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5.
Read.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Right. He said Esau, they had a perpetual hatred. How do we know he's talking about Esau? Go up. Go up to verse 1.
Verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 1.
Read.
Moreover, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying,
Say, what did he say?
Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
Mount who?
Mount Seir.
Go ahead.
And prophesy against it.
Prophesy against it. Read.
And say unto it,
Mm-hmm.
Thus said the Most High power.
Right.
Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee,
Mm-hmm.
and I will make thee most desolate.
Most High say he's going to make thee most desolate. Who is in Mount Seir? What's going on in Mount Seir? Let's find out. Hold that real quick. Give me Genesis 36. Verse 1.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 36 and verse 1.
Read.
Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom.
Who is who?
Who is Edom.
Who is Edom? Drop down to verse 8.
Verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Thus dwelt Esau.
Thus dwelt
Esau.
Esau.
In Mount Seir.
In Mount where?
In Mount Seir.
In Mount Seir. Read.
Esau is Edom.
Esau is Edom. Esau is Edom, the Edomites, right? Which we would say today the so-called white man, like Trump, you name them, Biden, those are the top Edomites, right? Okay, go back.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
I will lay thy cities waste,
Right.
and thou shalt be desolate,
Mm-hmm.
and thou shalt know that I am the Most High. Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of my children of
Right.
Israel,
Mm-hmm.
by the force of the sword.
By the force of what?
By the force of the sword.
A lot of times people think that sword is talking about like a big knife, right? But that sword is talking about the modern day sword, which Esau used is his AR-15, right? Is all his 9mm Berettas, right? All the guns, like Esau loved to use so much. He loved the gun so much. It's his favorite. He loved the gun more than he loved his own woman. He loved the gun more than he loved the dog. Right? Go ahead.
By the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity,
Right?
in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Right. We at the end of our iniquity. And Esau is busting us down with the sword, left and right. Look how long this police officer had his neck on George Floyd's neck. Did you see that? Right? 3 minutes after his spirit left him, he still was down there on the floor with his knee in his neck. Right? What happened to what's his name? Mike Brown. Have you ever seen that movie? It's a documentary called Stranger Fruit. You seen it? Yeah, I think you need to watch that. I think you really seriously need to watch that, because the guy that was with him was telling you how the thing went, but nobody want to hear what he got to say. So these guys, and just recently, I just saw something on the news that some police officer beat some woman up.
At the gas station?
I think so, something like that.
Told the head guy saying she need to go back where she came from, and he just started hooking her. And Jake literally walked up and just watched that happen. Beat the brakes off her.
Yeah. Right? Because this is the situation that we're in. Because definitely, if he would have jumped in, he would have definitely had to take my man out. We got to take that police officer out. You can't let him. It just don't go down like that, right? Because you know what's going to happen. He's going to start a war. Huh?
So Moses did, looked around.
Right, looked around, put the stabs on that Egyptian. Huh? Right, but he had to get out of there. Okay? So he has had a perpetual hatred towards the children of Israel from a very long time. I'm going to go back a little bit further, and then I'm going to show you some clips on the screen real quick. Let's look at Numbers 20. And 14. Numbers 20 and 14. Let's look at this what happened in history with us and Esau.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 20, verse 14.
Read.
And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh
Right.
to the king of Edom.
To a king of who?
Edom.
Right. Esau. Go ahead.
Thus said thy brother Israel, thou knowest all the travail that hath befallen us,
Uh-huh.
how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time. And the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers.
Right.
And when we cried unto the Most High,
Right. What happened?
he heard our voice,
Mm-hmm.
and sent an angel, and hath brought us forth out of Egypt.
Right. So Jacob is saying, hey, listen, do you remember what happened to us when we were in Egypt? We went down there, we vexed the Egyptians, right? Then we prayed on the Most High sent forth an angel, Mashiach Yahweh, came and redeemed us out of here. Okay, go ahead.
And behold,
Uh-huh.
we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border.
Right.
Let us pass, I pray thee.
He said what?
Let us pass, I pray thee.
So he's asking Esau, let us pass. Go ahead.
Through thy country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards. Neither will we drink of the water of the wells.
Right.
We will go by the king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand, to the left, until we have passed thy borders.
Right.
And Edom said unto him, Thou shalt not pass by me.
He said what?
Thou shalt not pass by me.
You can't come over here with your family and everybody, with your cattle. You can't come up in here. La. Now he went and asked them nicely, right? Didn't he say, oh, Esau, my brother Edom, can we pass through? We're not going to turn. What he said? I'm not going to go to the left. I'm not going to go to the right. I'm not going to do anything. Right? Go ahead.
Lest I come out against thee with the sword.
Look at that. He already pulling the gun out. He said, if you try to come through here, I'm going to pull this thing out on you. You know what I'm saying? So this is not something that's, that just so happened. Esau is still to this very last day have a perpetual hatred towards the children of Israel. Even when we were passing in the wilderness. Okay? Read on.
Verse 19.
Verse 19.
And the children of Israel said unto him,
what did he say?
We will go by the highway, and if I and my cattle drink of thy water,
right,
then I will pay for it.
He'll do what?
I will pay for it.
He said, even if we go, we drink any of your water, it's a lot of cattle, we might drink up a lot, we're going to give you some bread for it. Go ahead.
I will only, without doing anything else,
right,
go through on my feet.
Go ahead.
And he said,
what did he say?
Thou shalt not go through.
Uh-huh.
And Edom came out against him with much people, and with a strong hand.
And with a what?
And with a strong hand.
And he called his people. Go ahead.
Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border.
Esau did what?
He refused to give passage through his border.
Right. Esau still refused. Even if we offered, being nice, hey, can I just pass through? I'm not going to drink the water. If I do, I'll pay for it. If I go, some of my cattle eat some of your land, I'll pay for it. I'll take care of it. Just let us pass through. Why is he asking to pass through? I don't remember where the map and everything was, but the way that Jacob was trying to take everybody was a shortcut, right? And he had to pass through Edom. So now, what's happening here is that he's begging Esau, hey, listen, let me pass through because this will take us less time, right? But you turn around and say, no, man, go around. So you knowing that it's going to take a lot longer for us to get there. You know how it is when we grow up in Brooklyn somewhere. You might be somewhere. Hey, I got a shortcut. I got this little spot right here. We could cut through here, reach over there and be over there in half the time. But sometimes you can't do that because you pass through a certain way where Esau is at. He's going to have a problem with you. I know when I was growing up, they had a problem. If two of us was walking in the neighborhood somewhere in Long Island or in Bensonhurst or in a couple other places, they had a problem with you. Especially, I used to live in Coney Island. If you know anything about Coney Island out there in Brooklyn, there's some places out there, hey, you don't walk over there. That's Guido and them little guys over there. Right? And when you walk over there, they had a problem. I was walking with my cousin and say, yo, what y'all niggas doing over here? That's how they talk. Today, we probably say, mind our business, you know what I mean? But back then, we didn't do that. Right? Because back then, it was more them than us. Okay? They was moving like that. They always stuck together on the block. So Esau, during this time, even back then, he said, what? Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border. Wherefore Israel turned away from him. So we had to turn away. We had to go a different direction. Right? Which took us much longer to get to where we were going. I came to this story just to show you that what Esau has a perpetual hatred towards the children of Israel, and nothing has stopped. So I wrote down some dates. I don't know if Ariel or control room could pull up one. Let me see. So like Bayath, I gave him a paper to pull up a date. If he could pull up one. Which one is that? New York. So this is New York in what year is that? I'm sorry, hold on. 1863? This is right before the Emancipation Proclamation, right? This is another thing that went down in New York, right? Another slaughter against blacks, against the Negroes, right? It's multiple, I don't know how many. It's so many that I didn't write a lot down. I just kind of wrote the date, and these are things that you could look up, and I'm going to bring some more literature in on it, right? What does that say there? Can you see it?
Draft writers.
Says
New York draft writers murdering a black man, 1863.
Right. So in 1863, you know, this massacre happened. It's more. It's a lot that has been happening. Some places happen in the same town. Everybody remember Tucson, right? Texas? Everybody remember what happened there? We ain't get there yet, but not yet. Go to the next one out. That's Detroit. These are the Detroit riots, right? You see that this one is to sick the dogs on us. Martial law. Yeah, the water hose. What does that say there?
Detroit race riot of 1943.
Right. That wasn't that long ago. 1943. Right? And how many people was arrested then? How many whites was arrested for this?
None.
If I had to guess, none.
Right. If you had to guess, none. Right? Because they have this perpetual hatred. They're ruling this country. They're ruling a lot of countries around here that you don't even know about. That's why Esau sets up things like no-fly zone. Who does that? You can't fly in my airspace. You mean tell me you purchased the air? That's something else. Give me the next one,
Like all these embassies and they're all these different.
Yeah, they're right. They have these embassies in all these different countries because which one is this? What year is this? What we got here?
1919.
Washington, 1919.
Washington, 1919. This is what I don't understand. Even during this time, Washington, 1919, you know, at this particular time, the 4th of July was already established. The keeping of the 4th of July was already established. How can we in 2022 still want to keep the 4th of July, knowing that these things happen to us at this particular time? This is way after the 4th of July. The 4th of July was established in 1776, right? And now we talk about 1919. There's a couple of hundred years passed already, right? Go ahead, go to the next one out. What's going on with the next one? What year is that? I thought I had my picture. That's right. Chicago, all right, Chi-Town. You know what's going down.
1919.
So in Chicago, the same year they had a riot over in Washington. In the same year they had one in Chicago, right? What did it say there? What does it say?
Strike is on. Cars stopped. 20 slain in race riot.
20 slain in the race riot. Now, tell me, those 20, any one of them out of the Edomite race? You doubt it, huh? I very seriously doubt it. Right? These are the things that's happening to our people over time and over time and over time. Go to the next one up. You get a chance. I just want to show you a few photos. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to print out exactly what happened. And then one day when we come in here and have another class, a short class like this, we're going to read through everything that happened. I'm just showing you the date and the riots. What you got there? This look like, what's your name? Tucson.
Race massacre of
Yep.
1921.
Yeah, that's Tucson. That's the Texas. That was Black Wall Street. Right.
So they didn't go in there with people and burn the place. Now America got in these jets and dropped bombs.
Tulsa, yes, Oklahoma.
Oh, sorry, Oklahoma. I'm sorry, Oklahoma. My bad. Yeah, Oklahoma.
So
Yeah.
that right there, they said this would have changed the whole dynamics of, the black people's status, because it thrives quicker than any organization that's here and there.
Right.
So America got in their planes and dropped bombs, and then they try to say that people came and burnt it down.
No, that's not true. They came and dropped those bombs. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
They had to, because we weren't dealing with other people. We had our own. And there's a documentary stating that, we started losing power when they allowed people of color to sit down at their table, because they felt like, I'm a whole human now. I can go eat with these people. So they stopped spending money in their own community and started spending it with Esau.
What it is that, the problem is that
That's Emmett Till saying he whistled.
No, it was this too. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. They let Esau in there, and that's the problem right there. See, a lot of times we always trying to integrate and bring the other nations along whenever we're trying to do something, instead of trying to, oh, he's a good Edomite. You know what I mean? They, like you mentioned earlier today, they're all not bad, right? But once you let one in, that's it. Then two come in, then three. You may not have a lot of them, but all you need is those few, and that will fuel a whole fire. Because all it started was what? Some woman complained that she was raped or mistreated by somebody black. Now that give them room to say, oh, we need to come in there and see what y'all doing over there. Why is this woman over here complaining? Because you thought that it was a good idea to let this one person in here, right? None. I don't care if you look dark as Yahushua and your father's an Edomite. You don't need to be in there either. Put you out too, right? We don't know you got some tendencies or something, right? So you don't need to be in there at all. So this is the condition. This was happening. That's why you see in this culture that we have here, learning who we are the Hebrew Israelites. Edom is not welcome here. Not at all. Okay? You got to be of the seed of your father. What you got here? Oh, this is the recent one, 2015, huh?
Charleston Church.
Right. This is the one that ran up into the church in Charleston, South Carolina. Dylan Roof, right. Went in there and shot 9 Negroes. Sitting there praying to Jesus.
And they still ain't released the video of what happened inside that church.
Yeah. Well, what are they gonna? They don't need to. Man, listen. These people are something else. You know they're gonna hide everything. They're not gonna tell you everything. But look, he gets out, right? He gets they lock him up, say he's mentally deranged and he needs they bought him a value meal?
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. Take out a bunch of Negroes, get a Big Mac, huh? You wanna supersize that?
Yeah, with a drink.
With a drink, huh? So now he's there, he gets out scot-free. But let a Negro go and shoot up a whole bunch of cops or somebody like that. Like that guy that went and shot those cops up, and he was on a roof.
Oh, in Texas, in the parking garage, they sent a robot.
Yeah, they sent a robot up there to get him.
Blew him up.
Blow him up. Yeah.
He wasn't surrendering.
Listen up.
You got that man up there, he knew what he was.
Yeah, like what's the name? The main one I like to always remember, always give me chills when I think about it, is Christopher Donner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donner, yeah.
Yeah, that dude right there was something else.
The one in the trunk?
California.
No, that guy went in the trunk. Nah, not him. This guy's playing around. Nah, the one in the Christopher Donner. That guy wasn't playing around. This guy.
Yeah, LAPD.
He joined the LAPD. I don't make him do that. He must be out of his damn mind. But anyway, before he joined, he was in the Navy. And he became a high-ranking officer. And when you become a high-ranking officer in the Navy, that's not easy, and being black. Because most of those officers are normally white. Right? And you have to have a certain degree. You can't just roll up in there talking about you're going to be this level officer and then you don't go to school and get all these degrees. He got all these degrees, came out a high-ranking officer, and joined the LA Police Department, which I don't know why. That was crazy. Then he turned around. When he did that, he heard them talking about they kept on making racial slurs against black people and Hispanics. You know what I mean? And they were doing like crazy arrests, and they said, yeah, let's pull him over because he's black. And he got tired of that crap. He made a complaint. That's the worst thing he did yet. They got on his case, and they blackballed him and fired him. President put him in suspension, then they fired him. And then that was it. That was the end for him because he didn't know. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them dudes that's like all American, even though he Jake.
He believed.
Yeah.
He believed in the philosophy of America.
Yeah.
And that's what made him. That's really what made him do what he did. Why he was so angry, because he actually believed in the philosophy of America. Yeah. And then when he saw it for himself, and he went, made the complaints, he tried to go to the proper channels, they tried to go after him. Then he raised hell on the Edomites.
Yeah.
What did he do?
He raised hell. He shot the lawyer.
He was up in he was in the bushes.
Yeah. He was in the bushes taking him out.
Yeah.
He was knocking him down. They couldn't mess with him. By himself.
He was going to their house. Everybody was on notice. Everybody was afraid.
Yeah.
Manhunt.
They had to pull out the SWAT. Everybody had to come out and get this dude.
The whole state was on lockdown.
Yeah. He had the mark of the beast. That joker right there. Right? He had that joker right there. That philosophies of America, you know what I mean, and believing in this system is the mark of the beast. He had the mark. You know what I mean? And he took that mark and he went and he snapped when he realized that he should have been with his people and supporting his people, and turned around and knocked a few of them jokers off. They had to shoot him from outside the house. That's how good he was.
Tear gas.
Yeah.
Tear gas and shot him up.
Yeah.
Later seen him in a cabin or something. They burned the whole cabin.
Burned the whole cabin.
Yeah, burn the whole cabin down.
Yeah, he was in the cabin shooting him.
Right.
They said caught on fire.
What state this was?
California. This was in California. What's the next one y'all got?
They did a documentary about it.
Oh, this is it right here. This is the latest one. But that's South Carolina. After the people were shot, hold on now. After the people were shot in South Carolina, the pastor, everybody in the church talking about we forgive them and everything. What is he talking about? Where is that in the scriptures?
It ain't.
Where is that in the scriptures that another nation come in and do something to you? Now you talking about, oh, we forgive you. Jesus love you. Because the Bible says so. Where is that in the Bible? Right? Our people are hooked on religion. That's the problem. What a lot of people don't understand is that when you look at us, right? You see how he killed those 9 people? Now you could get Jake in the damn world in California, or not California, in Chi-Town, in Chirac. They'll go and spray up a whole goddamn block and shoot up like 15 people. Right? Kill a bunch of Negroes, Hispanics, and everybody. And whatever, yeah. They talk about it, whatever. Nobody makes us think about it. You know why? Because it's a tribal thing. We got war against each other. But let one white man come in and kill 10 people, we got a freaking problem. Because that's war. Because that's another nation coming. See, when we kill each other, it's a tribal thing. It's beef between one another. But when another nation come and do it, God damn it, that's war. That's a big problem. And that's why the people, and it's in our spirit to be that way. That's why we act that way. Soon as one person, George Floyd, everybody protesting, people walking the street. How many times the Negro got shot? Right. In Detroit? Or in Chicago? Nobody marching, nobody running down the block holding signs. Bebe is gone. Junebug was there. He know what happened. Nobody protesting saying that, right? But as soon as one Edomite kill one of us, it's a goddamn problem. We ready to raise hell. Right? Should it be like that? Absolutely not. But it's in our spirit that another nation would do something to us, and
Hold on, Minister.
Yeah.
Because they're not trying to raise hell.
No. At this beginning, no. These jokers.
Because
No.
they mad because the white boy don't love them. They mad because the white man don't love them.
Yes.
That's why they gonna protest and riot, because white people don't love them.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
true.
It's unreal, and still in this time they still want to try to get him to come into the kingdom. Yeah.
See, the thing is, they don't go to the projects and shoot it up. They're not going over there attacking any of these gang members. They're going where our elders are sitting, hoping that they can finish out the rest of their life, and they're killing them off.
Right.
People that teach morals into these kids, they're killing them off.
Mhm.
You understand? So that should be the upsetting part. All that crap going on in the hood. Why would I kill y'all if y'all gonna kill each other? I'm going to kill these people who are trying to change your mind state. I'm gonna smoke grandma.
You're gonna smoke grandma.
In his thing that he wrote up, he's clearly said he picked that place because it's least likely that anybody would have anything to shoot him back. He looking for soft target.
Yeah, he looking for soft target, right? Because he couldn't go. He couldn't walk in the store in Vermont and do that.
No, not in Vermont. Not in Florida.
Either way, yeah. If either way in Vermont, as soon as he pull out that gun, the cash register will pull a gun out and pop him one, right? Grandma got a gun out there.
Ain't no black people in Vermont, but
yeah, I know. It's like 3. My brother's there. He probably the one. Yeah. Well, I tell you, man. Yeah.
His suit cost $2,000 and his gun was $1,400, and this was a high school kid. Where did he get the money from?
Trust me, man. Esau is behind all these things. They have organizations. They have people. They have these militia people set up, and they funded. They got bread.
So shouldn't they be held accountable?
Listen.
They said they got a diary from him in school saying that he wants to grow up and kill people. And
Listen, they are going to be accountable, and I'm going to show you how. Give me Obadiah 1 verse 17. Let me show you how they're going to be. Let me show you how they're going to be accountable. They're going to be accountable for it. Oh, they will be. Esau is a natural born killer. Right? That's why they came out with that movie, Natural Born Killer. It's talking about Esau. All right? Before you get that, give me Zechariah 11 and 4. Real quick. And then we'll get Obadiah. Go ahead. When you get it.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
Thus said the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Thus said the Most High, my power.
Right.
Feed the flock of the slaughter.
Right. Feed the flock of the slaughter. Who the flock of the slaughter? Israel. Go ahead. Read.
Whose possessors slay them.
Right.
And hold themselves not guilty.
Right. Because when you look at them, who possesses slay them, they possess us, and then what? They hold themselves not guilty. When we look at all those dates in New York, Chicago, Washington, and I got more, South Carolina, I got a list over here of all the dates of all these black massacres, right? When do you hear the amount of Esau, Edomites, white men being held accountable for their actions, right? When you hear them being arrested, because they, like the scripture say in Job, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. They own the earth, brother. No matter where you go, you know what I'm saying? So he said, who possesses slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Read.
And they that sell them say.
They that sell them say what?
Blessed be the Most High.
Blessed be the Most High. Go ahead.
For I am rich.
For he's what?
For I am rich.
Right, because they're rich. They sit in a seat of authority. They got finances coming from everywhere. What did Trump say when he was running? What did Trump say when he was running? What is one of his lines he said about when he had money?
Make America great again.
He said, make America great again. And what else he said? He said, I have endless money. How do you make a statement like that? Endless money, meaning your money don't end? He said his father gave him a loan, a small loan of $1 million.
Generational wealth.
Right.
He also said he didn't want the U.S. to pay for his salary.
Oh, he don't want the U.S. to pay for his salary.
He said he ain't need it.
He ain't need it, huh? Ain't that something? Right? He also, I heard him do a joke. He said his hair looks like some sort of rat or something like that, a squirrel. You ever seen that? Right? Yeah, see, he was saying, yeah, people say my hair looks like a squirrel or something like that, or a rat. But does a rat have $7 billion in his bank account? Esau is freaking proud in his money. He love his money. You know what I mean? Because they know money, along with money comes what? Power. So, that's why he said, who possess and slay them, and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Most High, for I am rich. They are rich. And that's why they can fund these little clowns. Right? These little clowns looking for groups. All his whole life he looking to kill Negroes. They'll find him and bring him into the group and work him out and give him money and give him whatever he need and buy whatever. And they'll say, hey man, if you're going to go do that, do it right. And give him a uniform and give him a AR-15, right? And hook him up with everything he need. Yeah. And if he go to jail, his parents probably got a nice 6-figure, a little something waiting on them. These people got bread. What do you think happened in that, what's that thing that happened? Sandy Hook. When all of them Chinese dude went in there and shot up all them teachers and all that. You remember that in Connecticut? What do you think happened right after that? Esau went and put how many people died in there? I don't remember how many people died. It was a number of people died. Esau went and bought a reef for every last one of those people that died in there. Esau wrote checks down to those people's families and gave them money to make sure they was all right. They sent top-notch psychiatrists to come down there and counsel the people through all the stuff that they went through. Who counsels us when we go through our stuff? Where's our check at? Right? What happened to our brothers who get slayed down in the streets? What do we get? Sorry to hear that.
Get it in blood.
Huh?
We'll have to get it in blood.
I guess. Well, the Gadites, they say they're going to get it in blood. Forget about that. They don't want your money. Keep your money, right? A lot of those people on the reservation, they are Esau. Don't let nobody fool you. Them guys are real Gadites on that reservation, right? A lot of them are Esau. Okay, and they brought all those drugs over there to keep the people jacked up, right? The natives, the true natives, they out there, they got drugs and alcohol. They are suffering from this thing on a severe level. It's really bad. I'm telling you, man, it's bad. The drug, Captain Bayath, if the drugs and the alcohol on the reservation is the worst. It's bad out there. It's real bad. And Esau is pumping this thing. And how all of a sudden now you can't buy like a whole bunch of cigarettes, carton of cigarettes. You got to go to a reservation to buy cigarettes. Where the money they getting from that? What, their little check they give them every month? They can keep that check. That's garbage. Right? Because what we want is to be in our place and our land and give us our king. And they can't give us that. Only Yahweh can give us that. All right? So, it says, blessed be the Most High, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So, our own people have no pity for us, for the things that we're going through. They look to get rich, and when they get rich, hey, that's them. They asked LeBron what happened with these people when that thing happened with that church. A lot of times people they don't have nothing to say, because they don't want to bind up their contract they got with the with who, right? The NBA and the NFL. A lot of these guys came out and actually said that they realized that they are a product of that industry. That they're not a part of the organization. They think they signed a contract. Yeah, I'm down with them. Yeah, I'm down with the NFL. You ain't down with them. They own you. What happened to the football player shot himself?
Plaxico Burress?
Yeah, from the Giants. He got in trouble for that. Because why? Because you hurt their property. They invested money in you. You're supposed to be out there running on the field, and you're supposed to be making them money. And you hurt yourself. You got a problem. They fine you, do all kind of stuff to you. And it was an accident. People in the army, a lot of times people, they in Vietnam, one of my uncles was telling me, he said a lot of times people stab and shot themselves to get out of the army. But if you stab yourself, that's a crime. Because you are part of the United States of America. You are property. You belong to them. Just like when we were in slavery. It's the same thing. You got a social security number. You got a passport. You are a product of this place. So you flying off to the yard talking about you're going to be free. You ain't free. Sorry to be the one to tell you. You ain't free until Yahweh Shai come back and get us out of here. Because what did he say in Deuteronomy? No man is going to buy you. Meaning no man is going to save you. So I don't care where you at. You plan on going to Mars with Esau? Good luck. Because you ain't going nowhere. You know what he going to do? You're going to go in the room. He going to say, I got to give you some shots. So you can go to Mars. Because you don't want to get infected up there. They got more stronger things than the coronavirus. Right? Then they go around and then they go and inject you with the needle, right? They go like this. All right. Boom. And hit you with that. And then you feel dizzy. You fall out. You wake up. You right here in Fort Lauderdale. You right here in some room. And outside the window, they got some mirror or something like that. Look like you in space. Right. You on Mars and showing you some little Earth over this. That's Earth. Look. You in Mars. You free now. You're a damn liar. Esau is the devil. He's a goddamn liar.
That's right.
Do not believe the hype. Trust me when I tell you. People thinking they going to Mars, they ain't going nowhere but Hollywood. Right? Fly you right over there, put you in a room just like where we at right now. You're going to look out the window and say, let me look out the window. And there's going to be somebody out there that's going to have the stars out there, and he's going to pull up the earth and go, oh yeah, look at the earth. Then when the sun come out, oh, look at the sun. They're going to put the sun up with you, and you'll be right there in Hollywood. And they're going to be taking all your money. You say, oh, yeah, I have my Social Security I was supposed to be collecting. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll give it to a donation, some charity. The charity will be their pocket. They'll be in a hotel with all kind of women from everywhere, getting all kind of business done to them, while you in some room looking out the window ain't going nowhere, like a lunatic. Right? Esau is a liar, is a thief. Right? And the Most High is going to bring judgment onto him for his evil. Give me Obadiah now, 1:17.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 17.
Read that.
But upon Mount Zion But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance.
Right.
And there shall be holiness.
Mm-hmm.
And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Right. The house of Jacob is going to do what? Possess their possessions. Just like we read in Leviticus today. She said, our possessions shall be of what? The heathens. It's going to be of the heathens. We're going to own them and we're going to pass them down for an inheritance. Read on.
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire.
Right. We should be a fire right now for that thing that happened the other day. Not be out there praying, talking about we want forgiveness. Right? As soon as the guy came in South Carolina and shot that church up, oh yeah, we forgive him already. I'm like, damn, that was quick. You didn't even give time to put the people in the grave. And you already forgive them. Go ahead. So Jacob said, shall be a fire. Read.
And the house of Joseph a flame.
The house of Joseph a what?
A flame.
The house of Joseph is going to be a flame. What's that talking about? The northern tribe. Now you know what they went. You know what my people went through. You already know, right? The rape, rob, the murder, the damn pestilence that they put on the people and destroyed the nation, right? If it wasn't for certain men who stood up, they had men who stood up, Crazy Horse and all these different guys who actually fought against these people, right? So they're on fire right now. Imagine what they did to those people in Puerto Rico, right? How they came over there, named the place Richport, got all the riches out of it, raped and robbed the people in there, okay? All those northern tribes, all over Dominican Republic, Cuba, all those places, South America, Brazil. Brazil had the bulk of the slaves. We was out there talking to the brothers on the street and met a Brazilian out there. And the guy don't speak Spanish. Guess what he speaks? Portuguese. Believe that? Yeah. This is the condition of our people. Dark as you, I don't know what. Okay, but if you look at him, he may look like, he could be Hispanic or whatever. You know what I mean? Which he is of that descendants, but the people were speaking, he didn't really understand the Spanish as well, right? But the guy, he spoke Portuguese. Because these Spaniards came over here and raped and robbed the people, okay? So he said what? He said, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Read.
And the house of Esau.
The house of who?
And the house of Esau.
The house of what?
The house of Esau.
The house of Esau is going to be what?
For stubble.
For stubble. Read.
And they shall kindle in them.
Uh-huh.
And devour them.
Right.
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau.
Right.
For the Most High has spoken.
Right. So eventually their accountability is got to come from the Most High. Everybody understand that? It's not coming from us. We can't take matters into our own hand. According to the scripture, the Most High said, wait upon me until I rise up to the prey. We can't take matters into our own hand talking about we're going to go out there and deal with Esau. We're going to be dealt with. He's going to be on the roof eating a ham sandwich taking us out. Because the only thing we can shoot is the air. We get guns, we shoot everybody. Instead of trying to shoot the guy that we went after, this guy touched my daughter. Go and shoot him. You don't go do that. You spray up the whole block. You shoot Day-Day, Junebug, Little KK. Everybody get it. Right? Esau, he sit on the roof and just pick you off all day. He put a gun in his child hand at 11 years old. Even younger. 8 years old. If they can hold it, they'll get it. And he's teaching them already how to shoot. So our defense is not the gun. Right? Our protection is not the gun. Our protection is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Because whenever he was with us, nothing could be against us. He said, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. We got to cold-heartedly believe that. Okay? So he said Esau is going to be annihilated. Okay? There's going to be no more remaining of Esau on this earth. Thus saith the Most High. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Give me Daniel 7:18. That's my last scripture. In the book of Daniel chapter 7 verse 18.
There's the book of Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18.
Read.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
And shall do what?
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Right. We're not asking for the kingdom. We're not going to vote for the kingdom. Right? We're not going to take a census. Who wants to be in the kingdom? Right? He said we're going to take the kingdom. Read.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Read.
And possess the kingdom forever.
For how long?
Forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Read.
Even forever and ever.
Wait, that's a lot of ever. Wait, it says forever, then it says even, forever, and then and ever. That's a lot of evers. Is there an end in there? Is there a breach in there somewhere? Right. So we're going to take the kingdom, and we're going to possess the kingdom. And we're going to dwell in the kingdom, and the heathens are going to come in, and they're going to work for free. Everybody got that? Right? Thus saith the Most High, by Shem HaMashiach Yahushai. With that being said, give the Most High a hand. Hallelujah. thank you everybody for coming out, keeping the Shabbat. We're going to take a break. We're going to set up the closing prayer, and we're going to praise the Most High, give him his praise, because his praise is worthy. You know, his name is worthy to be praised too. Hallelujah. You know, so everybody got anything? Keep the Shabbat. It's wonderful, man. That's wonderful. We have to keep the Shabbat. We have to go out there and tell the people to keep the Shabbat too also. So a lot of our people still in these last days still believe that they don't have to keep the Sabbath, unfortunately. You know, and the Sabbath is when you first learn this truth, that's the first holy day that you learn, is the Sabbath. Yes, I am.
They were keeping the Sabbath in Buffalo, it wouldn't have been no Jake out there to shoot.
You know what? You know, I hate to say that, but that's actually true. That they were at the Shabbat service, it'd be none but Esau in that store. You know? And you see it happened on the Shabbat. And you see it's the spirit, because you know we always get attacked during that time. When you go through the history. Right? Whenever they try to get at us, they want to get us on the Shabbat, because they know the Shabbat is the time when we are doing our most worship. You know what I mean? When we all together. This is the time when Esau and all the other nations want to attack us. And they picked this day to attack us when we were not doing the Shabbat. That we were out shopping and doing the things that we normally do. And we should be doing the Shabbat, which is very important. So that's why we tell the people, we go out there and compel them to come in and keep the Shabbat, because that's very important. This is not only the first holiday we keep when we wake up in this truth, but also it's the first holiday that was given onto Adam, the Shabbat. Alright? Gave him the Shabbat. It's the last day. He said, I'm finished. I rest on this day. It's the Shabbat. It's the first holy day. Right? So it's just very important. So that's why we going out there and we tell our people, keep the Shabbat. Then we could work on the other days and shaving your beard and work on the other laws and loving your brother. Right? Today we went over a topic concerning love thy neighbor, really, as thyself. Because when you look at Leviticus, the 25th chapter, it's the exchanging of the servant brother, the Hebrew brother. Right? It's the exchanging of possessions of lands. That's all got to do with loving thy neighbor as thyself. Right? Because he said, you can have a servant of a Hebrew in your home, but you can't rule over him with rigor. So the Most High has given us instruction on how to do these things, how to deal with one another, brother to brother, sister to sister, right here. But as you see, you can see the flip side to it, because now when you look at the curses, it's totally the opposite. Now we don't deal with each other right. We put usury on the money we lend out, right? When it came time for the possession, we got our house. We don't leave nothing, the inheritance for our children. We don't do none of that, right? Like I mentioned earlier today, Chuck said, he said, when Esau dies, right, he leave a will. When Jake died, he leave a bill, right? This is the truth, right? And a lot of times this happens with a lot of our people, you know. With that being said, all praises go out to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which truly his mercy endure forever. Shalom to the nation of Israel. And we encourage all Israel to wake up. Those of you that are black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, you make up the 12 tribes of nation of Israel. And we're going to go out there and teach you the truth according to the Bible. That being said, Shabbat Shalom.